Welcome to episode 412. 3 Wall Street billionaires who figure out Black-Scholes model early in their career. Thomas Peterffy, Icahn, Icahn and Englander. And 4 lessons how to grow money. It's an outline of episode 412. What is the purpose of this episode? To think ahead of everyone else, and also how not to blow up. Now I'm going to give you 3 of the richest men in Wall Street. First, Thomas Peterffy. Well, he might not be a household name, but he is very, very rich. He has a net worth of $18.1 billion, and he is 77 years old. Next is Icahn. He doesn't need much introduction. He's a big mouth on Wall Street. Next is Icahn and Englander. He has a net worth of $6 billion, and he is 70 years old. Englander, like Peterffy and Icahn, made his first $50 million through option pricing. Now, on the way to billionaires, here's the formula: $0 to $1 billion. Which is more difficult, from $0 to $50 million, or from $50 million to $1 billion? Well, I won't answer you this, but my own feeling, $0 to $50 million is a lot more interesting. And these 3 billionaires made their first fortune in option pricing in the 1980s. How Peterffy figured out the Black-Scholes model in the 1970s.
Around 1970, I came up, I was thinking about how to price options, because in those days there was a lot of options trading in the United States, but nobody understood really how to put a price on options, so people were guessing. And so I gave a lot of thought to that, and eventually came up with a formula that was very similar to what is currently known as the Black-Scholes formula. And so having that mathematical formula gave me the idea that I should go down on the floor of the American Stock Exchange as a trader, because I had the formula, nobody else did, so I could do very well there, and I did.
He did hundreds of thousands of experiments by hand and by computer simulation.
Formula you created, were you just been so smart, or how did you get this idea? Where did it come from?
It took me a very long time. So first I did a lot of computer simulations. I started to flip coins with a random number processor, and assumed that when it comes up head, the stock ticks down. When it comes down tails, stock ticks the other way. And then I looked at how stock prices move over periods of times, and I did it hundreds of thousands of times. And then I was surprised to see the normal bell curve Gaussian distribution come out of it. And then I finally understood how this whole thing works. So this was basically random Brownian motion, and so from there it was relatively easy to figure it out.
Here is the story of the Black-Scholes formula and the 3 academics. The Black-Scholes model is about option pricing. These 2, Robert Merton and Myron Scholes, won the Nobel Prize in Economics in 1997. What are the lessons I learned? Lesson number 1, think ahead of everyone. Peterffy, Icahn, and Englander made great money. Now, $50 million in 1980s is a lot of money. More importantly, they went from $0 to $50 million. Lesson number 2, the billionaires made a lot more money than the academics, about 1,000 times or 1,000 eggs. Sorry, I got a PhD too. Lesson number 3, don't die young. Fisher Black died at the age of 57. He did not live long enough to collect his Nobel Prize in economics. He missed it by 2 years. Lesson number 4, don't blow up. Black-Scholes blew up in the 1990s with a hedge fund called Long-Term Capital Management. Now he is a consultant at the age of 77. Chinese, be careful, don't blow up. Here is how not to blow up. Use Paul Chan's 10-bucket rule. Put a trigger on each bucket. That's a 20% trigger, a loss trigger. So if you lose 10 in a row, you lose 20% of your capital. You will never blow up like Black-Scholes or Jesse Livermore. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.